Welcome to The Localist, a podcast for small businesses where we talk about the highs and lows of building community through entrepreneurship. I'm your host, author of the Localist book and small business consultant, Carrie Rollwagen. The Localist is sponsored by Infomedia, our Birmingham-based web strategy company where I work as senior vice president. At Infomedia, we help small businesses get big results online. Our guest today is personal stylist Malissa Davis. I am so in love with this conversation. We talk about actually how Malissa works with clients, how she takes them shopping or works with their own clients. We talk about how personal style is an extension of your personal brand and how the choices that we make when it comes to personal style, like even kind of pushing the envelope with the different earrings you wear or a different color that you might try, actually inspires confidence and helps you to do other things and take other steps in your life that you may be wanting to take. This is something that has been on my mind, especially as we have started recording The Localist, because I went from doing a podcast where I recorded in basically a closet so I could wear whatever I wanted and look however I wanted, to then being on video. So there are different concerns there. I also do a lot of speaking events. Most of my background is in writing. So I went from, again, like sitting behind a desk by myself or behind a computer and not needing to really think about how I looked to having to think about those things. And that didn't come naturally to me. So being able to have resources where you can learn about this, I think is really important if you're doing any kind of business where you're interacting with the public or you're your own brand and presenting your brand or doing speaking events and things like that. I think a lot of us think of a stylist as something that's just for celebrities, but there are actually stylists who work with people like me and you who are just kind of normal people, and I think Malissa is a great one. I've seen Melissa's work over and over again because her daughter Taylor is actually the showrunner for The Localist, and she also works at Infomedia. So over the past couple of years when I've been working with Taylor, like almost every single time that I or somebody else says, Taylor, you look great today. That is so cute. That looks so good. And by the way, Taylor always looks so good. So she gets these comments a lot. She always responds with, my mom styled me. So I've been impressed by Melissa's styling for a long time, and I'm excited to have her on today. Her styling business is called Best You Ever. You can find her on her website, which we'll put the link in the show notes, and on her Instagram, which is at Malissa, which is spelled Malissa_BYE. So I'm really pumped for this conversation. I hope you love it too. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to meet you because, again, I'll say in the intro, but Taylor has been working with us for a few years now, and it's fun to see, to actually meet, the person who made her who she is. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So So I looked at a lot of testimonials of people who worked with you, and they say, describe you as their fairy godmother, and let's see, this quote is a breath of fresh air, things like that. Mm-hmm. How do you, and I know this is probably not a simple answer, but how do you get people to feel like that? Is it just the clothes, or is it kind of how you approached the whole thing?
Interestingly enough, I start with their story. So everybody has a story. Everybody has started somewhere in their fashion journey. A lot of times you'll have people who their parents have told them this is the way it is, and then they've never evolved into what their fashion, what their signature style is. Mm-hmm. Then we have some who started very young and they were very self-conscious. So they covered their bodies. We have some people who have experienced trauma. I mean, the list goes on when it comes to a fashion story. Yeah. So the first thing I do is I just simply ask, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about fashion. Tell me what you love and tell me what you hate. And as people share their stories, then I can kind of identify, okay, we'll start here and then we'll build on this particular theory, or we'll build on this particular idea.
Yeah. Well, it seems like one of those things that it's from the outside, it seems kind of surface, but mm-hmm. then as soon as you start talking about it, it goes beyond, goes super deep really quickly.
Oh, yes. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you were.
Well, no. Does that? Do people like? How do you get people to kind of be okay with that vulnerability with you, or does that take time, or is that just happen immediately?
It's so interesting because everybody is so different. Some people overshare, and some people are like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. But I used to work for Nordstrom for close to 10 years. And I used to work on the sales floor early on in my career. And I would go into those dressing rooms. So what we would do is I would pull clothes and then help women, pick and choose different items that they wanted to wear. And in those dressing rooms, it's almost as though you go behind a closed door. You go behind the secret door, if I could say.
Yeah.
And they'll immediately look in the mirror, and it's a reflection of who they are. So they're looking in the mirror, and the first thing that they say, this is how I can identify them as well, too. The first thing they'll say is, oh, my goodness, look at my arms. Oh, my goodness. Oh. And then they start to pick themselves apart. And as I stand there, I allow them to say what they're going to say. And then I'll put them in clothes that are properly fitted to their body and to who they are right now. And they'll look in the mirror, and it's almost like this epiphany starts to happen, like, oh, this looks good. Oh, this is a good color combination on me. Oh, and then I'm building trust in that moment. And then they start to share their story. Then they start to share, you know what, I've never liked my arms, but you put this on me, and now I feel like I can wear my arms out.
Yeah.
So it's this moment of building trust. It takes time, and everyone's different, but building this trust layer upon layer. So it's a unique quality to have, but I almost sometimes feel like I'm a therapist, which I'm not.
No, I get it.
Unlicensed therapist.
Yeah.
But it's, tell me your story. Let's talk about it. Let's build, but building trust while we shop and while we have clothing and have different conversations about clothing. So,
yeah. Well, what other things did you learn from working at Nordstrom that kind of come into play when you're styling, like that? Because it seems like getting to have those reps almost of like putting people into clothes, like seeing how they react, and over probably again taught you this person is really insecure, or this person is confident. Let's play up that confidence. Or are there things that you took, more things that you took with you from that experience?
One thing about Nordstrom, just working there in general, the customer is very important. So that's one thing, and it sounds crazy for me to say Mr. Nordstrom, but it started with Mr. Nordstrom, and it's the Nordstrom brothers, right?
Yeah.
So I was working there, and it's still the Mr. Nordstroms there. But customer service is important. Listening to your customer is important. So one of the main things that I've learned is understanding that the customer has a need, or they wouldn't be there. What is identifying what that need is, and then helping them through. And a perfect example of that would be problem solving. So they have a need or a problem, and I am the problem solver. So I'm there to be able to assist them through whatever the problem is. I'm the solution to it. And since I'm the solution to it, what does that look like for that particular customer? Every customer is different. Every customer has a different need. Every customer has a different pace too.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, I could go shopping with someone, and we could shop for 4 hours. We're like, yeah, we're having a good time. Others, I could shop for 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm done. I'm done. That's all I had in me. That was my capacity. So even identifying how long I have with that customer, and I learned that, in the retail industry, how long do I have with this customer? What is their capacity? And then what is the problem, and how can I solve it? So that's important. And I also feel like as a stylist, a lot of times people can be they can not know what to expect. So they automatically maybe look at the stylist and say, oh, I would never dress like that. Oh, that's too much for me. But it's not necessarily what the stylist has on. It's the I guess the best way to describe it would be the professionalism and the education that the stylist has to be able to help that particular person. So a lot of times you have individuals who will say, I don't necessarily know if I can do this, or if I can look like that stylist, or if I can look this way, not understanding that it's not about the stylist or what the stylist has on. It's really truly about what that particular person wants and what that the problem is.
It actually goes with the name of your business, kind
Yes.
of like the best you ever.
Mhm.
That it's not the best Melissa ever repeated.
Yes. that is the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how do you do you ask questions to how do you find out
Mhm.
what would be Carrie versus what
Mhm.
would be Melissa or Taylor or somebody else?
Mhm.
Is that a quiz? Do you just
Yes.
ask questions? Okay.
I have a style assessment.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that we do. In a consultation, I'll
Mhm.
just simply say, okay, I'm about to send you a quiz.
Mhm.
I want you to do this quiz, do the assessment, answer these questions, and then I review it, and then we'll have another consultation. In the consultation, a lot of the things that I'm asking is what is your expectation, first and
Mhm.
foremost, because I can't meet the expectation unless I know what it is.
Mhm.
And of course, what I do is a service. I'm in the service industry, so it's really important for me to know that. The next thing is in the style assessment as well too. It'll let me know if you are more of a romantic dresser, if you're more of a classic dresser. Do you have a free flowing style to you, as well as your lifestyle? So a lot of times people are like, oh, I love the romantic look, but your life is very active,
Yeah.
and we can't have you in lace all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what does that look like for the lifestyle that you're currently in?
Yeah,
right?
it's
So-
like that's why you have all these beautiful dresses and you end up in leggings every day. Is because
Yes,
you
that's
didn't.
exactly it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, do you find that people do they self-diagnose well, or do you also see that they're saying well, I like these colors and I like these fits, but then you get them shopping and you're like, well, actually they light up when they're in something different.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
happens all the time. So someone will think this is what they like, and then I'll take them to the store and I'll put it on them. I'll say, okay, well, this is something that you chose that you like. Let's put it on you. And they'll look and they're like, oh, it looks so much better on the mannequin. And I'm like, well, tell me what you think about it. And we talk about, does it fit your body well? Does it look good? Is it comfortable? Because a lot of times I'll have women who will say, I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And they'll choose lace. And I'm like, well, my dear,
Yeah.
that's probably not the most comfortable. Now, of course, you can get some expensive lace, but the likelihood of you always being able to do this is probably not likely. So even in that, we have that conversation as well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, we've kind of touched on this, but what does it actually look like when you work with the client? Do you go shopping with them? Do you go to their closet? Is it online, or is it just kind of different depending on the person? Yeah, what does it look like to work with you?
It is different.
Yeah.
Every client is different. So a couple of the services that I do provide. So if someone wanted me to go into their closet, do a closet assessment, the first thing I do is I start out with a closet clean out. Because a lot of times people will say, I don't have anything to wear. There's nothing really in the closet. Okay. Okay, sure. So there's homework before I even show up.
Yeah.
So one of the main things that I do is I say, okay, we're going to go into your closet, but before I get into your closet, I want you to take out everything that does not fit you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How many of us
Yeah.
have clothes in our closet that don't fit, whether it's too big or too small? But a lot of times women will put, and this is usually the majority, they have clothes in their closet that they can't fit because they want to lose weight to get down to this particular size. And if they take it out of their closet, in their mind, they're thinking, I'm never going to get to this size. So I want to keep these clothes in the closet to remind me over and over again that this is the size that I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's just a whole nother, that's a conversation that I usually take and just talk to women about as well too. And I'll just, even if I can just stop in this moment. When you go into your closet, you want your closet to say yes to you over and over again. You want to be able to go in that closet and everything that's in that closet is a yes. Everything in that closet is going to say, put me on. I'm going to work for you. You do not want to go into your closet and have to shove clothes that's telling you no, you're not good enough, telling you you're not small enough to wear me, or don't even look this way. And then you have to pick and choose before you even started your day, honestly, before you even went to work, before you even fed the kid, before check the email. The closet is telling you no. So all of this rejection first thing in the morning, and then you just try to figure out what you're going to put on your body to be able to go be productive. So it's not good in general for a woman to just simply have to fight her closet that way. So that's the first step. Take everything out that doesn't fit, but also take everything out that you don't love.
Yeah.
Like, if you've had it in your closet probably like I'm saying 2 to 3 years, but personally I wish I could say a year.
Yeah.
But I go 2 to 3 years. I don't want to put anybody in shock. But if you've had it in your closet 2 to 3 years and you haven't worn it yet, and every time you pick it up you try to put it on and you never leave the house with it, it's not for you. But people are attached to, I paid money for this. I paid good money for this. I had an idea about this. If you haven't worn it, just put it away or resell it or give it to someone who would love it. And then you'll be able to go into your closet and say, okay, these clothes I can fit, these clothes work for me. And then we start from that foundational point. So that's one of the things I do. So we start with the closet clean out, and then we start with essential pieces. What are the essentials that you need in your closet? And every essential is different. For someone who's super active, it's going to be important that you get those yoga pants.
Yeah.
You're going to get, like, let's get those good yoga pants, right? Let's get, the gym shoes that you need, let's do that. But for someone else who likes to be more classic, do you have those do you have that little black dress? Do you have those professional slacks? What are the essentials that, you need in your closet? And then from there, we'll have conversations about, okay, how many essentials do you have? Let's start shopping for the essentials, and then we can build on top of the essentials that you have in your closet.
Yeah.
So it's layers to it.
Yeah.
But then also I do it online. So I do it virtually. So I have clients all over the United States. I'm working with someone right now. They're in Indianapolis. I have Arizona. And then all the climates are different, right? So I'm like, what's the temperature? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Right. So
well, it's true. Like I actually have done Stitch Fix in the past, and they're always sending me like little sweaters, and I'm like, I live in Alabama. Like, when am I gonna wear this?
Yeah, for sure. You have to know what's the temperature. Yeah. Go from there.
Yeah. Well, and even like you're describing, I've experienced this too. Like I did the Konmari, like, find joy in your stuff thing. And when I got to clothes, it's like I couldn't even tell what was bringing me joy. Yep. But I kind of flipped it and I said, what's bringing me guilt? And got rid of that.
That's good.
And it's amazing because there were so many things that then it's like, oh, even stuff that's beautiful and fits, but it's like, it reminds me of this bad experience I had when I was wearing it.
Wow. Or, that's so good.
Yeah, like everything you said of like, every time I put this on, I feel bad about myself. And the thing about losing weight too is it's always funny because it's like, it's like I would do the same thing, but then I'm like, well, if that happens, I'm going to want to buy new clothes.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're not going to wear your clothes that are 5 years old.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't think women realize that.
Yeah. And for me, I find that guilt is really not a driving factor in like anything I want to do. So if I have a health goal, I feel like it's an older mentality that just like shame yourself into getting better. And I'm not sure that works. It doesn't work for me for sure. So,
maybe in the old days, but not now. With everyone that you have who affirms people now. So there's a lot of affirmation. There's a lot of positive, I call it the positive peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like there are environments that you can grow in where you don't have to feel shame or you don't have to feel guilt. So I think years ago, you wanted that trainer who was going to scream and holler at you. Now I'm like, can I just get a high five? Can someone just say something nice to me?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Life is hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me about the shopping trip. So once you do the shopping trip, how does that, is it a whole day? Is it like, are you getting treats along the way? Are you getting coffees? Or is it like, no, we're working? Like, how does it feel?
So again, it's everybody's capacity. So when someone says, hey, I want to overhaul, let's do this. My overhauls are no more than 4 hours because people cannot take me or the process more than 4 hours. And then sometimes I almost feel like I need to bring snacks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here, your sugar's low. Here, eat this piece of candy. Right?
Yeah.
And the reason being is it's not me just going into the store like, oh, I'm going to pick this, I'm going to pick this, I'm going to pick this, and us moving fast. A lot of times what I can do is I can pick the clothes. I'll curate the clothes for them. And I'll take them into a room and I'll say, okay, these clothes have been handpicked for you. Come into this space and let's try these clothes on and let's see what works and let's see what doesn't work. And then we'll have conversations about it. And I've done this with my daughter. She is one particular, it was like a vest. It reminded me of like a tennis kind of vest, but it was like a vest that didn't have sleeves, but then it had the little tie in the front, and she loved it. She was like, Mom, I have to have this. And I said, okay. We went into the fitting room and we put it on, and she said, she was like, well, what do you think? And we talked about what worked, but we also talked about what didn't work. And that's what I do with clients. So we'll have conversations and I'll say, this worked really well. Like, look how good your arms are, because she has great, and my daughter has great arms, right? So I'll take a client and I'll just say, your arms are great. And I'll affirm them, right? And then they can acknowledge, like, oh, yeah, look at that, a bicep, right? And then I'll say, but we lost your waist. Like, where did the structure go? Like, did you see how it's swallowing you up? And then they'll say, okay, you know what, you're right. I see that. So this particular style doesn't work. So it's never about, I'm going to always buy you clothes for the rest of your life. It's more about, I want to show you how to dress your body. So you can always come to me if you want to, but I want to educate you so that when we're not together, you'll still have an opportunity to be able to win. So that's, we start there with teaching, education. Then we'll go into maybe another store, or then we'll go into another space. And in the process, I'm still keeping a catalog of, okay, these are the things we bought. These are the things that you still need. And then I strategically make sure that the essential list and the different things that they need, we're focusing on getting those, because we have to have the foundation before we can build this, glorious closet that someone wants. After having those conversations, which take time, and then it can be emotional. So there may be moments when someone is just like, this is a lot. This is so much for me. I've never looked at myself that, for a long period of time, so there will be moments when we may need to stop and then restart on another day, or there'll be times when I'll say, you know what, I feel like this was good. Let me go online and let me do some of the shopping for you. I'm going to send it to your home. You try these things on, send me pictures, because I'll have clients who will send me pictures. We'll do video calls, and then we just work through it that way too. So it just really depends on the capacity of the person. But the short version, no more than 4 hours. Like, that's like a 4-hour therapy session.
For sure. So when you're in those, do you have like places that are kind of your go-tos as far as like your stores or either in person or online, and you're like, I know what's there, I know it's quality, and for sure, I have my places. But one thing I will say is one of the places, I feel like I'm plugging Nordstrom, right? But one of the things that I definitely do is I shop on my Instagram. I talk about I dress curves, because a lot of times it's not the thinner woman or the woman who's the size 2 or the size 4. Now, and don't get me wrong, they definitely need help, right? But it's the woman who is a pear shape, and she just can't go into a store and put a dress on because she's much smaller up top and she has a much larger bottom. So she's frustrated every time she goes into the store. So I like to focus on the curves of a woman. Like, okay, how do I, create the shape that this woman wants? And also tall women. So tall women, a lot of times it's like, we look like we're in capris all the time, right? Like nothing goes down to the floor. So, strategically knowing the different places to be able to shop for a tall woman, a woman who has curves, a woman who has a unique shape, and then ultimately we're trying to get a certain silhouette. So I definitely have my go-to stores for that. I think that makes total sense, because like there's so many elements that you've talked about that are part of styling, but fit is a huge one, and we're really not taught to do that anymore. And most clothes are so many clothes are mass produced, so it's kind of fits like a sack, because a sack fits everybody. And also looks good on almost no one. But most of us, including me, like don't know how to say, okay, yes, this is tailored to fit me. Or do you even do tailoring afterward? Like, do you recommend like, oh, we can get this tailored, or is it mostly like off the rack, we're good to go? How does that work? Or does it depend?
It really depends, but I am an advocate for tailoring. And the reason I am is because if you get a good quality, let's say that you have a small waist, but your hips are larger, you're never going to find, unless you're wearing elastic pants
Yeah.
or leggings,
Yeah.
you're never going to find that perfect slack where you can put it on and it's going to fit your waist. But if you get it tailored properly, then you'll have an opportunity to put those pants on, and every time you put them on, you're gonna look at your body and be like, "I won," right? You're gonna be like you hadn't even put the top on yet. You're in your house and hadn't left yet, right? You're like, "Oh wait, I like that." So those moments matter. So that extra $15 to be able to get that waist taken in, it matters. Just pay the extra $15 and have it taken in and have it tailored. And then again, I guess I'm plugging Nordstrom, right? So they have they have it where you can purchase your clothes, and then we can go right into the dressing room. And when we go into the dressing room, there's a tailor that will come to the dressing room and come into the dressing room with you and do all the measurements and do all the things that you need to do in order to make it a perfect fit.
Yeah.
So even if you, let's say you don't go to Nordstrom and you go somewhere else, find a good tailor. That would be something that I would always tell people, find a good tailor. And they have tailors at all price points. So you don't have to be alarmed that you wouldn't be able to find someone that you can't afford, but get a tailor and have a tailor always.
Yeah, it is pretty, I don't use it nearly as much, but it's use tailors. But when I do, it's like, oh, this is the difference.
Yeah. But you have to feel good.
Which is funny, too, because you think you're saving money, but then you just go and buy 5 other things because the thing didn't fit. And you're just like, I could have just gotten this first thing to fit, and it would have been better. So,
you get it.
Yeah. Well, I get a lot of what not to do.
You're getting it.
Well, one example, actually, that I come up with a lot, have issues with a lot, and that I know that you work with women who have this, is speaking and being on camera and styling people for those kinds of things. How do you approach that? Because I feel like you do a great job of that, because I've seen your photos of people that you have styled, and then also for anybody who meets your daughter Taylor, she's a walking billboard for you.
Awesome.
Every time Taylor's on camera, we're like, "You look amazing," and she's like, "My mom styled me," every single time.
I love it.
So, and it seems like you I think you shine in so many ways, but so a lot of the photos I've seen are either speaking events or special events. So for speaking events in camera, how do you think through that differently, or do you if somebody's I speak at an event every month, or I do this podcast, and I think you're in a blazer today. That's probably chosen on purpose because it's structured and it looks good on camera. Are those the kinds of things that you think through?
I absolutely think through that. But also, I think your signature style. So a perfect example is if you and I were working together, one of the things that I would ask you after we've done an assessment, after we've had conversations, I would ask, what's your favorite color, or what's your branding color? What colors do you want to be seen on social media, right?
Yeah.
So we have those conversations first. And then the next question I'll have is, have you seen the colors of the event that you're speaking at? So what's the background? Is it going to be more casual? Is it a lot of green? Is it, what's that background going to look like? And then from there, I'll say, okay, how long are you going to be on your feet?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you comfortable with, we're having these conversations do you want to be in some cool gym shoes and I put you in a fun suit? Or, do you want to be, some of my speakers that I work with, they love to be in high heels because their back arches. And matter of fact, I just sat up. I'm like, wait, was I humped over the whole time? But they arch their back, and there's a level of confidence that they have when they're in high heels, right? So I'll have those conversations, and then from there we'll build what it is that they want.
Yeah.
And then I even have people who will say, hey, I'm going to be up on stage, and I believe the audience is going to be kind of close. They'll be kind of looking up at me. Put me in pants. I don't want to be in a dress, right? So we find those things out first, and then from there we'll go and we'll build the looks.
Well, I think that's so important too, because again, personally, I had a couple of years ago, and still kind of lingers, but an issue with my foot, and I can only wear Nikes, which if you're gonna wear one, if you're stuck in one kind of tennis shoe, at least it's Nike. Like
Yes.
they have a lot of variety.
Oh yeah, color
But
too.
it was crazy how dramatically it changed everything else I had to wear.
Yes.
Because not everything looks good with a pair of Nikes.
Yeah, for
on,
sure.
On some body types it does, but not mine. Or not my level of like, well, I'm at a speaking event. I really need to look purposeful. And I need to look like this is that I'm wearing Nikes on purpose.
Intentionally.
And not because I'm being lazy.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
So it was kind of wild to me how everything in my closet had to change because for basically a year and a half I could only wear sneakers.
Yeah, that's real life.
Yeah.
I have some women who refuse to wear high heels. They're like, I'm not wearing a heel. I'm clumsy. I need you to put me in flats. And I'll say, always?
Yeah.
And they're like, always.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So since they say that, I know that I have to be mindful of the length of their pants, the width of their pants, because some of them are maybe 5'2". So I can't put you in a wide leg pant. You have no elevation on your feet, and now you just look frumpy, right? So all of those specifics matter when I'm styling, for sure.
So all of this is like me going into the past, like I should have called you earlier, but
it's okay. It's okay. We're here now. We're here now.
So if somebody does have a special event, because I've seen you style people for parties and things like that too. So they're like, maybe it's a big anniversary, a big birthday party or something like that. Do you only work with people you've had as clients before, or can people call you and just say like, I have this big event, it's coming up in a couple of months and I like really want to look great for it?
I actually, you don't have to be a previous client.
Okay.
So if someone called me, I call it, it's so funny, I call it my SOS package. Special occasion service is what that is.
You're like the best with acronyms.
Thank you.
Like like the name of your business, and so that you can have like your Instagram is like Melissa By.
Yes.
It's like so cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
The SOS working on both levels. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what it is. So special occasions, absolutely. And a lot of times I'll even get clients, they'll say, well, I just need you for this. And I'll say, okay, I'll do it. And they're like, well, I can't go back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, come on, go with me. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how does the SOS service work? Like how much lead time do you need, which may vary, I guess, with clients. But is this like you really need a month or two, or is it kind of like if I have a couple of weeks, like when is the sweet spot for that?
Personally, I would like 30 days.
Yeah.
But that is not how it works at times. Sometimes I'll have someone call me like, hey, I have like 13 days. And I'm like, 13 days of what? What are you saying? But I would love at least 30 days from the event. Maybe even a little longer, all depending on what it is. And an example of that is like mother of the bride, right? Please give me more than 30 days to find you something, because what we have to do is we have to have the conversation. If I haven't worked with this person, I need their measurements. I need to know what they like, what they don't like, the color combinations. And then if we're in the city together, that means, of course, we can go shopping together. But if they're in another state, now I'm shopping online. I'm sending things to their home. Now we're trying on clothes. There may be some things that work versus things that don't work. Even in that moment, it takes time for you to receive the articles of clothing and then, of course, to return them as well, too. So all of those things we need to take into consideration. But a good 30 days, I can make it work.
Yeah.
Look, a good 30 days, I can make it work. I actually have someone who had a huge event that she needed to go to, and she gave me 10 days. And I looked at her and I said, are you serious? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I walk with the Lord. Watch this, right? We did it. And she's like, oh my goodness, everybody loves it. And I'm thinking, you stressed me all the way out, but it was so good. But you know how sometimes in the last moment you're like, but I kind of like it. I kind of like this pressure. So like I can get it done for sure. Yeah.
Well, can you think of some stories of times that you have styled somebody and it like had a really cool impact? Like, is it, or just even that they were really excited, or their way of seeing themselves changed, or they got like a really neat compliment, or I would assume those stories happen a lot, so I don't know if there's like a specific, but
one specific story that stands out, and the end result, this story ended in tears. So I was working retail, and again, working at Nordstrom. And this woman walked in and she's like, hey, I have a big event. She didn't say really what it was. I have this big event and I need to look amazing. She said, I lost a lot of weight. So I got clothes for her, pulled clothes. We went into the dressing room. And in the process of us trying on clothes, she was bandaged. So she had surgery. So she, her arms were bandaged up. But you didn't know this until she took her clothes, took some of her garments off in the fitting room. And she says, I'm on The Biggest Loser.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Yeah.
What are you saying to me right now? I'm like, The Biggest Loser? Like, on TV?
Yeah.
She was like, yes, I'm one of the winners. And I'm like,
oh, my gosh.
Okay. So, in the inside, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here we go. And she's just like, I can't really say much more, but I want you to dress me. And then, of course, when the credits run, it'll be like, we got the clothes from Nordstrom and whatever else. I'm thinking, can you throw Melissa in there? Throw Melissa in. And I'm like, oh. So now I'm energized.
Yeah.
So we started trying on clothes. So we got her the perfect fit. We got her the dress that was going to be amazing. And she she stood there, looked in the mirror, and started immediately crying. In this moment, I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
And from this moment, she's like, I've never looked at myself like this. I've never felt so beautiful. She's like, I don't even know who this woman is. Yeah. And she cried. And I just let her stay in this moment and receive, this moment that she was having. And then afterwards, she's like, do you think I'm crazy? And I was like, no, I think you're beautiful.
Yeah.
We had that moment.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I even have chills to this day thinking about it. And then, of course, she was able to purchase the clothes and, did the finale and did all the things and was able to go out to her family and, have this moment. But it was her acknowledging how beautiful she looked, how different she was, but she accepted it. And I think that's one of the main issues that I have a lot of times. One of the challenges I have with women, I can tell you that you're beautiful. I can say, oh my goodness, you look great. Look how wonderful you look. But if you reject it and you don't receive it, it's this moment where eventually you're going to have to receive it. You're going to have to allow the compliment to hit and stay and not deflect. Yeah. And if you don't, you'll never really grow in your style and in your potential that you have. Like if you're always just saying, no, I'm never going to look that good, or no, I'll never look as wonderful as, someone else, you'll always kind of be stuck in this moment of not really truly knowing what your signature style is.
Which is hard because I feel like a lot of women are socialized to deflect. Absolutely. By a lot of, like, everybody, but
yes. Yeah. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. So I feel like that is such a service to be able to, and even some of the ways that you've talked about this throughout our conversation, like when you're saying like your arms look great, but your waist is getting lost. It's almost like the compliment, the positive is focused on the person, and the negative is focused on the clothes. Yeah,
absolutely.
Which is so much like, I feel like we also internalize so much. So you're like, well, I don't look good in this, so I don't look good. Exactly. But I think you're training people to think, I don't look good in this, so this isn't right for me. Yeah, which is a totally different thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like it's a lot deeper.
Oh, it's so deep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've even had people tell me, they're like, well, this dress just doesn't fit good, and then I'll say something's wrong with the dress, and they're like, oh, yeah.
It's so freeing to be like,
this dress is wrong.
Yeah,
the dress is wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we haven't, this is a little bit of a pivot, but can we talk about accessories? Yeah. Because that's something that I notice on you today, but I also notice a lot of times when you style tailor, is that you're also pairing things with like I want to say interesting accessories, but it's not weird. It's just like, this is just adding something. I feel like it's really making the outfit in so many ways. Yes. This is another thing I'm really bad at.
Oh, no.
Accessories. Yeah. Okay. Like, I have the same watch and the same earrings I wear every day.
That's okay. Those are your staple pieces.
Fine, yeah.
Those are your staple pieces.
But when you're shopping with people, is that part of also what you do? And how do you, do you approach that in the same way? Or is that, like, a different thing?
So I approach it in the same way by starting the conversation of, are you allergic to any
Yeah.
metals? Like, we got to start there.
Yeah.
Are you allergic? How do you feel? Some women absolutely hate heavy earrings because it pulls on their ear.
Yeah.
So I'll say, okay, well, would you be willing to wear something lighter? So again,
Yeah.
it's having the conversation.
Yeah.
And then from there, I also ask women, I'll say, hey, can you send me let me see what your accessories look like. What do you do?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
And it's a starting point of, okay, so you're really safe with your accessories. Or some people, they're really, they have a variety of accessories. And then a lot of times I'll have women who are like, I have these diamond earrings and I wear these every day and that's all I do. I don't know how to do anything else, right?
Yeah.
So we start there. And then I'll just introduce pieces because I love accessories.
Yeah.
I love texture. I love mixing and matching textures. So I'll just start to introduce different things and I'll just wait for the response. And then honestly, there are some times, and one of the, I don't know if it's necessarily my motto, but a lot of my clients crack jokes with me because the running joke is just trust Melissa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that you'll see that a lot on a lot of my stuff. And I also thought, I'm like, maybe I should do a reel of them all just saying it because they all say it at different times and they laugh and they, we have moments of that. But it's just trust Melissa because I am going to introduce something that's going to challenge you. I am going to introduce something to you that you never thought that you could wear.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're going to put it on. And it never fails. You're going to put it on and say, oh, my goodness, I think I love this.
Yeah.
I love this moment that I'm having. And then I can build off of that and we can continue. So I will introduce the accessory. And the accessory is just trust me. Let's just try it.
Yeah.
Put them in the full look, throw the accessory on, and we go from there. And usually that's how I get people to participate and just variety.
Yeah.
Because you can wear all black. Let's say that you have on a black shirt, you have on some black slacks, and you have on black shoes.
Yeah.
It's almost like a canvas for accessories.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, you gave me an opportunity to like make this so cool. Like the silk scarf. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, go put it on. Like, tie it in a bow or so. Like, just like have fun with it and know that every time you put on this whole black look, you can literally just change it out with different accessories and change it out with different things and make it look grand.
Yeah.
All the way down to the blazer, to the coat, to the hat, or whatever you decide to do. So it gets great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I love that because I feel like you're also pushing people to just step outside their comfort zone in general, which I think that a lot of times we also like get to a point maybe as business owners, as women, as just anybody, where it's kind of like, well, this has worked and this is safe, so I'm going to just do this.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just in clothes, but then sometimes it's in life too. So I feel like it is a little bit like, I know it sounds a little silly, but it's like if I could try this earring, I could try something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's building confidence. I don't think women realize that you are building confidence. Like, people underestimate a good look. And and of course they think vanity, or they think, this is superficial. But when you feel good, regardless of if you have on like this bright color or if you decided to do muted colors, if you feel good in what you have on, you're going to walk into a room and you're going to be more confident because you're really not concerned about the look because you look good. From there, you build confidence, you act different, you open doors, or you go into doors that you probably never thought that you'd even go into, and then you'll make change happen in your life. So it's so much more than just the outfit.
Well, I think so too. And then also it's part of, if you are trying to develop a business or a personal brand or things like that, this is a kind of a walking manifestation of the brand. And I think that's hard to kind of remember, that this, like, you're presenting as this person you're trying to be, and like the times that you're networking, and half of the networking I feel like doesn't happen at networking events. It happens like when I go grab coffee and I run into somebody that I kind of know, and then I can like strengthen that connection.
Yeah, for sure.
But thinking through like, what am I wearing? What is everything working together is so helpful for that. So yeah. And then I also feel like one of the things that I tell people in our industry, especially, which is kind of creative, because people will ask, like, what is professional? Like, because we aren't necessarily, it's not a law firm, we dress differently.
Yeah.
And what I tend to tell people is, like, being purposeful in our industry is being professional.
Yes.
So if you're wearing a t-shirt and making it work, I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
If you're wearing a t-shirt and it looks like you just pulled this out of the laundry basket, that's a problem. You know?
Absolutely.
I think working with somebody like you can tell people, like, how do I make that work for me? How do I develop this brand that I can kind of show up as?
Absolutely.
At a speaking event and also just in life, you know?
For sure. Consistency matters. I think that's one of the main things. Consistency matters. I think people think, okay, I'm going to get dressed this one particular time. We're going to get some pictures. We're going to get some social media content. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then the next day you go back to, regular habits, not realizing that you could see someone when you're out getting coffee, or you could see someone, and then the first thing that they see when they look at you, it's almost as though it's a disruption of what they saw on social media. It's a disruption of when they saw you speak at an event, and then when they look at you, now they're questioning your product. Now they're questioning, okay, is this person who they say they really are, and do I want to connect with this particular person? So it definitely matters. And again, you don't have to look as good as you did on social media, because I was really intentional, right? But don't go so far in the wrong direction that now we're questioning your just questioning who you are and what your brand is.
Yeah. We actually talk about this. I think Taylor actually did a video for us on this, with AI. Like, don't use so much AI on your photos that people are disappointed when they see you in person. Like, you actually want to be recognizable.
The filter, right? Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I've done that. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then now you're thinking, like, I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So those little signals, it is, and so much I think of what you do is teaching people, like, we're all giving off little signals all the time. And so you're kind of, I feel like you're saying the narrative is there, like, here's how to take control of that narrative almost.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel like I could talk about this forever. I feel like this is so interesting. But tell people how to work with you. So if they're listening and they're like, I need to trust Malissa. I already trust Malissa after this. And
Yes,
now I want to work with her. How do they do that?
Okay. So the main thing is just simply reaching out to me. So, of course, I have my website, which is bestyouever.style, not .com.
That's good. And then we'll put that in the show notes too. So if you're driving or doing dishes, don't just be safe, and the link is there.
Yes. And then Instagram. So with my Instagram, it's Malissa, and of course I spell my name a little differently. It's MALISSA _BYE. And BYE is not like a sassy term, because someone has asked me, like, oh, is that sassy? And I'm like, no, it's best you ever. It just says bye. But then even in that, it's just like, bye to old ways, bye to the way I used to dress. Like, okay, we could just, spin that a different way, but it's Malissa _BYE.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Me too.
I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, you need your own podcast. So.
No, ma'am. I'm going to leave that to you. You're the star, and I'm going to go. I'm just going to go do my thing.
Taylor can do her own podcast, and you can style her. So
okay, that'll work. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
If you're in Birmingham and want to experience a live version of The Localist, and also to see whatever I decide to put together for my speaking events, we would love to see you at the Localist Lab. So this is our live event. We do it the third Thursday of every month at Saturn in Avondale. We bring in experts to deep dive into a topic that is important for local businesses. Tickets are free, and the link is in the show notes. We would love to see you there. The Localist is written and produced by me, Carrie Rollwagen. Our showrunner is Taylor Davis, the daughter of Melissa Davis. Our outreach manager is Hannah Cragen, and our engineer in the studio with me today is Paul Bryant. We record right here at Infomedia Studios. If you are interested in doing your own podcast, hit us up. We would love to help you. And thanks again to Infomedia for sponsoring the podcast and making everything we do here possible. So until next time, whether you're running a small business or buying from one, thanks for all you do to make our community stronger every day.